How did you actually meet Pac?
I met Pac at this club. They were throwing a birthday party for me.
Okay.
And my nigga G George, a comedian from Harlem, brought him to my table. He said he told G George, "Who that nigga with all the champagne over there and all the women?" And G George, "That's my nigga Jack." He said, "Yeah, man, you wanna meet him?" He said, "Yeah." So he started to walk with G George. He said, "No. I gotta tell him first, homie. Then you come see it.
So yo, we gonna bring to the stage a brother that's one of Russell Simmons' personal favorites. And he's a wild boy, so brace yourself. He's from Brooklyn. Yo, give it up for G George. Is this a family reunion? Yeah. God damn, it's Brooklyn in the house. All right, we're gonna set this off. Fasten your seatbelts. This shit is definitely real. Now, how many of y'all like sex?
If you tuned into me, you watching Gully TV. I have a special guest today, man. It's been a long time coming. This name was mentioned during the course of my monumental Haitian Jack documentary. He's known as the comedian who introduced Tupac Shakur to Haitian Jack. G. George, welcome to Gully TV.
Hey, what it is, Big G? What's good?
I appreciate you taking the time. Let me run a few questions by you. Give me a little bit on your background before you get to talking about, all your polo and all that kind of shit. Just give me some, give me a little bit on your background and how you got into entertainment, your first break. Go ahead. The mic's yours.
Well, all right. Well, first of all, I came from I come from the 70s era. I come from 77, the blackout, like when hip-hop was first starting. That's when I ran away from home. That's when I got outside. I was in the streets for real. I was outside for real. So I started meeting everybody from then on. And, you're 9 years old and you don't know the streets, so you got to front. So all I knew was the power of the punch. Wherever it was hot, if it's banging over here in Flatbush, if it's banging in Bed-Stuy, I'm there. I just wasn't taught nothing, you know what I mean? So I had to learn that. I made a lot of mistakes. But I had a lot of cats that, used to teach me, the right way. But when I fucked with the cats who was middle bracket dudes or dudes just coming up, the cats with the scripts in their back pocket, they really ain't real niggas. Yeah. When I got around them niggas, I made a lot more mistakes because they peep game and they see I was green. The dudes that was really getting money was trying to push me away from the game,
Right.
Like the old timers did. Yo, go ahead, man. This ain't for you, shorty,
Yeah.
So I done did the group home shit, the Mount Loretta's over there in Wu-Tang. I done did the shit over there or Covered in House shit. I done did DFY, did all that shit. And then, when you running around in the streets, you start knowing all the big heads and everybody. They used to call me a couch surfer. I done slept on every big Willie nigga couch there is.
Hold on, G. Hold on. Was that due to relationships that you established in the juvenile homes and shit like that?
Nah, it was just being funny. What I learned, every king has a court gesture.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So every time I got around niggas, I did something that his lieutenant couldn't do. I made him laugh. Okay. You know what I mean? And then I realized that jewel kept me alive because I used to be up in every bitch house because I needed shelter. Mm-hmm. And I used to have to spend a night with bitches that looked like Joe Frazier, man. Like, for real, son. It was fucked up. All I had a chick look just like Mike Tyson with nappy hair, same face, everything. Bitch fight, all that, scars on her face, all that shit. And I had to stay at her house. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I was a young nigga. And once I learned everything was going on, I learned I could bag bitches. So a lot of big Willie niggas like me for that.
Yep. Hold on. I gotta interject. I know what that's like. when I'm in my travels with Gully TV, they have no problem taking me along because they know I knock a bitch.
Oh man, I get him, man, for real. I put a wig on a pig, you dig? Like
Right.
I don't play with it, man. I get a UFO in a second, ugly fat nose. Like I make them pay like they weigh. I ain't playing.
All
like,
right.
Cause I gotta survive.
Right.
But I seen niggas paying bitches because their lingo was lazy. You know what I mean? But I had a spectacular vernacular. They had to listen to me all day long.
Talk that shit, G. George. Talk that shit.
I about to make them laugh, man. I had them laughing.
I'm still in that spectacular vernacular. I'm gonna cut this portion of the interview out so nobody ever heard you say that shit. It's mine.
You dirty boy.
Spectacular vernacular. Come on with it, man.
So anyway, make a long story short, I had a problem though. It was like, you ever watch Carol Burnett? And it's a beautiful show. It's spectacular. They got comedians, they got dancers, they got guest stars, they do skits, they do all this. They take you through a whole world for about an hour and a half. And then she go, I'm so glad we had this time together. And the whole auditorium is empty and she mopping the stage. That was me. When everybody go in the house, when the party's over and all that shit and all the fronting and the cars and the clothes and the hoes and all that, I'm out the streets looking crazy because I had no credit.
Okay.
So what I did was I started getting high. I started being with the underground people, the mold people. I done been through it, sleeping on roofs, all that shit. So then I would get an outfit or whatever here and there with my man Kev, Boostin Kev, and then I start doing my numbers. But
Hold on. That name rings bells. Boostin Kev.
Yeah, Boostin Kev from Brooklyn.
Before you go on with your story, tell people who Boostin Kev was and his significance in that trade.
Okay, Boostin Kev, right? My man Kev, he was, put it this way, he was a sleeping giant. He was a musical genius who knew how to make beats. He had a 4-track that make it sound like a 48-track. This boy was a fucking sample beast. But in order to get his shit, his equipment and all that, he had the money, so he had to steal it.
All right.
So this boy, he was a beast stealing, but he wanted to get the most for the mission. So he came up with this shit called a Lizzie bag. And the Lizzie bag is you grab a bag as big as you, like a big giant Macy's bag, and cut it down on both sides. So now it's long, right? And you put aluminum foil all on it. And then you put duct tape. And then you flip it over and do the same thing. And then you sew the sides back up. Then you put that bag in another big Macy's bag or whatever, and then you roll it up and you go inside the store. We go in the store, you just take a whole rack of shit and fold it over and put it in a bag and roll the bag up at the top and walk right out the store. See, the aluminum stops the alarms from igniting. Right. So we in and out of the store all day.
Talk that shit, man.
They depending on alarms to go off. And we would snatch something in New York, in Midtown or whatever, because it was Scandinavians. We used to be in there wrecking Scandinavians. There was a couple other spots we used to wreck. PFOs, shit like that. But Spiegels. But Herman's, we shut that down. Us and a couple of niggas from Roosevelt Projects. Them niggas, Black and Knowledge and BJ and all, these niggas was off the hook. But Kev got smart. Kev was like a fucking Christopher Columbus to this shit. He liked to go far and abroad.
Okay.
State Plaza, Livingston, Woodbridge, Rockville Center, Shore Hills, Little Brick, Commerce Mall, Somerville, Upper Derby, Miami. Oh man, he was a beast. Willowbrook Mall, all that shit. He was a beast. Tyson's corner. He was a beast. He was the first one to find all these spots.
Okay.
See, the problem is, we used to take these little niggas out there, and we used to call them bag boys. We used to put all the shit inside the bags and let them take the shit out the store, go in the bushes, and them big army duffel bags?
Yeah.
take everything out of the Lizzie bag, put in a duffel bag, and then crawl back in the store and pass us the bag. But we already got 2 other Lizzie bags waiting for them to carry out. So this was a well-oiled machine. We going in there. We staying in there from 12 to 3. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. All day long, just killing them.
Right.
Till the store almost empty. You know what I mean? And then once we did that, we take all of that shit back, sell everything half price.
Now, let me ask you this. What do you have to say? Because it's ironic that we speaking about boosting and hustling and shit. I was on a live yesterday, and I was sharing a story about meeting one of the lowlifes from Philadelphia when I was young and in a juvenile home, and they was like the first time encountering somebody. That was my first time encountering people who glamorized the fact that they stole. Where I'm from, you know, it's pretty much, you know, a bunch of drug boys and shit like that, and we bought clothes from the boosters, but it wasn't like a masculine hustle, so to speak, until I went further into criminality and started to meet, you know, there's different ways of getting to some money and shit. But what do you have to say about, you know, the sexualization of that actual hustle?
Well, there's levels to this shit. A nigga who really don't got heart to go snatch your money bag or snatch a diamond or break a jewelry store window or till tap or jostle,
right?
He gonna sneak thief. You know what I mean?
Right.
So Cat was a super sneak thief. It's your love of heart. Because what I mean by that is you got to play all 4 corners of the board. You know, if I take this, bow, that's one corner. I'm going to get that, bang, it's another corner. Then I'm going to be this nigga, bow. Then I'm back to square one, right? But if you're really looking at the board, take this, bow, I'm going to be this, boom, then I'm but if I get caught, and if I get caught, then where I'm going? Oh, I just took the mother load. Oh, they sending me up north. You know what I mean? Right. A lot of niggas ain't built for that punishment. So the punishment fit the crime, fit the criteria, fit the character of the individual.
Okay, got it.
So you know, you have an ape come home and he a gorilla. He come and go tear something down, cause if he get caught, he gonna run to jail. So it don't matter. Half of them niggas, they live in jail. You know what I mean? They come home for vacation.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
You know what I mean? So real talk.
All right.
You know, so the thing with Kevin them was doing what they knew was going to get them DJ sets, which was going to keep them fly, which was going to get them some bitches. Okay. And that's how me and him clicked, because I ain't had to steal for no bitches. I got a 3-letter word in my verbal arsenal that every player, pimp, and their mama should have. You should have this word in your arsenal. It's called lie.
My father once told me, man, you could tell a bitch a beautiful lie instead of the ugly truth. Nobody wants to hear the ugly truth.
There you go. Dress that motherfucker up.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I tell her make a lie for everybody I meet. You know what I mean? I tell her ugly bitch she gorgeous. Tell her gorgeous bitch you ain't shit. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's how you do it. You gotta keep everybody off balance and then dance to your shit because it look like they drunk. Mm-hmm. But if you keep it straight with a motherfucker, he gonna knock you off balance. So you gotta be ahead of the game. As soon as it come out your mouth, everything bullshit. Right. And guess what? Bullshit is entertaining.
It is.
Case in point, I bullshit my way to TV.
Let's talk about that. The comedian is born. When was the comedian born, and when did you make your separation from being a booster to going off into entertainment, which, you know, almost guarantees a much bigger bag?
Well, I got tired of getting shot. First of all, I was doing stupid shit around crazy niggas, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then I was doing nothing around other crazy niggas and still got shot. I got blamed for some shit I ain't do, got shot. I did some other stupid shit. I took a nigga mixtape and I was almost dead, almost blew my fucking head off for that. You know? So I started learning, yeah, nigga, this ain't it. You know what I mean? I gotta stop this. So one day I'm getting high again. So I'm in a park hustling some player niggas. It was some shit. I forgot the name of this club, but it was on 30th, and it was on 2nd, and 6th. The 23rd used to have a library right there. It's 22nd and 6th. Powerhouse or some shit. It was some shit. I don't know what the name of this shit is. But across the street, it was a parking lot area, and I seen Russell Simmons. And Russell Simmons had all them old school niggas with him from Queens. You know, the Kangos and the Adidas and all that stupid shit they had on, all that ancient shit.
Right.
So I went over there, and I was like, Russell Simmons, blah. But mind you, this the crackish me talking. This the I'm hype, mouth running a mile, 100 miles an hour.
Right.
Because I'm trying to get some money, you know, so I can get high. So I'm like, hey, Russell Simmons, what's going on, nigga? I see you, man. You're chilling. He said, hey, I'm chilling. I said, baldy locks and 3 hairs. Look at you ain't that. You still got that bitch. She fine as frogs. And nigga, I'm running my mouth. So he open. He like, nigga, where you from? I said, I'm from my mama. Nigga, you want to know my son? Dollar, nigga. You know what I mean? I'm going in on him. So he's like, yo, you a funny dude. I'm like, you know, I got a show coming up, right? I said, a show? Nigga, I wasn't impressed with that tougher than leather faggots ass. Said, punk old shit, y'all niggas, they get around me. And he laughing like a motherfucker. He's like, you got any jokes? And I started telling some jokes. And he gave me his number. He said, call me. I got some shit going on. I said, yeah, nigga, but I'm broker than a faggot's wrist, nigga. Hold something, nigga, with all that money, man. And nigga gave me $1,000 right there. He went in his pocket, gave me the money. I was like, I'm smoking. I was gone. But I kept that number in my pocket. And I was like, let me call this nigga. So he was living on 4th and Broadway on top of Tower Records in the Village. He was living on the roof of the building on top of Tower Records. And there's a triplex on top of that Cher used to have that he bought for, I think it's 1.5 or something like that.
Okay.
He bought that. So he was living there. So I used to come, and the doorman let me right in because he already knew I was coming. I said, what? So I was up there with this nigga, you know, living it up for a while and all that. And then he started taking me to Peppermint Lounge. Then I met all these niggas, Bernie Mac, all these niggas. I'm with all these niggas. And I'm like, where the fuck am I? These niggas been doing comedy their whole life. I don't know nothing about this shit, you know what I mean? All I know is I'm running my mouth just to give me some money. But I didn't peak game, and I still was running around with the wrong people and still getting high. But it's funny how God put you in all the right spots. He keep trying to show you signs. Yo, nigga, you in now. You ain't got to do that no more. And you thinking, now I got to keep doing this so I can stay in. And I did. I had to. You know, I had to. It was like certain rappers, you know, if they not high, they not this person that we love. They have to metamorphosis into that person. And they can't if they ain't high. If they sober, 2 people coming to their concert. You know what I mean? If they high, then the beats come out. And that's the motherfucker we love. But guess what happens? It's like Daffy Duck. When Daffy Duck told you, yo, I got this trick I want to show you. I drink this toxic mortified, and I drink this other sucker shit, and I put some other dynamite in me, and then he light a match and blow the fuck up and say, the only thing about it, I only could do this shit one time. And you see his soul floating around? You know what I mean? Yeah, that's the same shit. Like, these niggas can't keep doing it, because after a while, old age kick in.
Right.
And now you can't keep getting high, you old. You know what I mean? And because you're going to keep going backwards, you're going to keep trying to act like you young while you old and high. And then here come the trouble because you arrogant now and you think you better than everybody because the money got you thinking that.
Okay.
Because no matter how high you is, you looking at niggas like you broke ass, faggot ass, Beck Ellie tramp. Look at you, nigga. You ain't got nothing on me, tramp. Fuck out of here. You see me, you seen you, you popping shit. But you broke in a state of mind. The money is illusion. The money ain't shit. But some paper you took off a tree and put some old slave owners on it and lied and said, in God we trust with an all-seeing eye on a motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's all that shit is. Money ain't nothing but the paper they used to give you back in the days when you go to the gold rush.
No doubt.
They take your gold and they give you that receipt.
Okay, so you
Now
use...
they gave so much of that shit out, ain't nobody got no gold. They just taking the receipts.
So look, all right. So let me get this right. No formal training, all charisma and gab game. You got your opportunity with
soul snatching.
And so you got an opportunity with Russell Simmons. Landed you in his apartment.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then once I was doing that, right, then I started doing stupid shit like telling niggas, "Oh, Russell Simmons a faggot. These niggas is gay." And da-da-da-da-da. And it get back to niggas. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that be the crackhead talking. That be the crackhead jumping rope spawn with a nigga ear so I can get in his pocket. And everything, and he going back to report. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like, ain't that a bitch? So that's bridges being burned. But then I kept getting a bunch of videos and shit like that. Then Prize had me running around. I was running around with Tony Pope, the track masters. I was running around with, you name them. We used to be in that Hit Factory. I used to be up in there with Jack and them. I done seen everything that is to be seen.
Hold on, I was gonna ask you. Once you mentioned Praz, you talking about Praz from the Fugees.
Yeah, that's my boys.
Okay, you appeared on some skits, right?
Yeah, I did a bunch of skits with him. I did a couple of videos with him too.
Was you on the score?
Nah, I didn't do that album.
Okay.
Me and Praz, we was cool then, but we got tight when he went solo.
All right, I'm gonna just keep it funky with you. Based on my research, Praz.
Well, he was a good nigga. He was a trooper too. Like, you know, he was an eye dude. You know, I cracked a joke with him here and there. But Pop, a couple of times I seen him in a restaurant somewhere in a village or something, and then me and him just start clicking because every time he had to give me my props one day, it was a bit so bad. He kept looking at it. I said, "Man, ain't nothing." I ran over to him. I told her some stupid shit. I said, "Yo, listen, me and my man want to know something. Ain't nobody trying to rap to you or nothing, but we just want to know, because you a fine, vivacious, hunk of feminine multitude. We just want to know, who's sucking a fart out your ass?" And the bitch fell out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he don't know what I'm saying. All he knows is I stopped the bitch and got her laughing. So he started walking over to us like George Jefferson. He like, "Nigga, who was this pretty lady right here you with?" And start kicking it. From then on, we had a relationship like that. Like, he'd see me, "Nigga, where the bitches at?" You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
Then we were to a party or something here and there, but he ain't had no problem with no bitches. No bitches was on his dick.
Right.
It's just that he just it was like the chase. He loved the chase. It's like a dog chasing a fire station, a fire engine.
Okay.
If he stopped it, he wouldn't know what the fuck to do with it. He just liked to chase the shit. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
And that's how the bitches was to him. They used to just chase this nigga, and then once he stopped to talk to him, bitches be stuck like a dead headlights.
Yeah.
And I used to laugh, but what he used to like is I used to do the same shit, and I'm not famous.
No
you
doubt.
know what I mean?
No doubt.
It is to fuck him up. So one day we over at this club, and he coming in the club, and Jack having a party there. I ain't know Jack was having a party there.
Okay.
I'm just getting in the club.
But hold on, G. But it wasn't Manhattan proper. That wasn't the name of the club.
Nah, that wasn't Manhattan.
Can you recollect the name of the club?
This club was on, you know where that big library is across the street from Madison Square Garden?
Absolutely.
Is around a corner from it going toward 9th. So that's 8th and like 33rd. So it's like 33rd between 8th and 9th. There's a little club they had there. You know what I mean? So we goes up in there. There's mad celebrities in there and all that, this and that, dirt. So I see the nigga party. He like, "G George, yo, what up?" I'm like, "Yo, what's good, nigga? What up?" He said, "Ain't nothing." He said, "A lot of bitches in here." I said, "Yeah, they smell you. They see you." Me and him just kicking it. And he said, "Who over there, though?" And then I looked, and Jack called me. He said, "G George." I said, "Yo, what up, Jack?" He's like, "Who that?" That's where all the bitches was at.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, "I'm going over there." He's like, "Yo, who that? Who's your man right there?" I was like, "Hold on, let me go over here and we talk to this nigga. Let me see what's going on over here." Because I ain't know this nigga had a party till he told me. You know what I mean? Till I went over there. And he wanted to meet him and all this and that. He was like, "Hey, your man got it like that?" And Jack had a bunch of shiny shit on, and, you know, he was looking like him. And then them niggas got to kicking it. And the rest is history. You know?
Damn.
That's how that went.
Okay. So, but Pac was in the spot when you got there that night.
coming in.
Oh, okay, y'all
He was
kind of.
coming in and I was coming in.
All right, got it.
I ain't know he was coming up there. Like I told you, I always run into him in a club or in the streets or something. There's always in some type of transition. How the
Right.
pimp say, I see you in the traffic. Yeah, that's what it was.
okay.
I always see him in the traffic. You know?
Take me to your debut on Def Comedy Jam.
Oh, I was with this cat, Supreme. He got a brother named Ty Kim. What we used to do is we used to sell slum. We used to be out of town. We used to go to Lenny's. And we used to go get shit stamped 14 karat, right?
Mm-hmm.
We had that authentic brass that you could put in bleach or you could put it in ammonia. And all that shit gonna do is make it shine like a penny. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But don't put the bleach and ammonia together and put it in this shit because it's gonna turn into the Incredible Hulk. It's gonna be green than a motherfucker. So we used to be out there slumming niggas down crazy. We used to tell niggas, we used to go to Alamo, Jersey, and go get a rent-a-car and take turns driving down there. We had the map and all that shit. And we used to hit the city, and we used to get a homeless nigga and get him $10 to show us where them money boys at, where them dope boys. Take us where the dope boys at.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to go around the dope boys because, you know, we street niggas, and we know how to beat them in their head. And we know that's real money right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We ain't got to worry about going to where they got it right there. You know, and it's dirty money anyway. So give us that. We'll be your laundry mat for you. Give us that money, nigga.
Right.
And take this receipt called slum jury. Yeah. So we beat niggas in the head like crazy. So one day we was supposed to be on a mission, and I'm telling the nigga Preem, I was like, yo, I gotta go do this show, nigga. He's like, nah, nigga, we gotta this, we gotta that. I was like, well, fuck you. I'm gonna go do what I gotta do. He's like, all right, I'm coming with you, but we going to this mission after that. I was like, all right, cool, let's go. So I went, and me and him was smoking mad woolers. Flies, motherfucker. You know, and we living out of the trunk of a BMW from 86 up. So this is 90, 91.
Okay.
We in all type of different shit now. And at the end of the day, we still getting high. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we goes up in the motherfucker. I see Martin and them niggas. Everybody got some shit for us. Clothes, all this shit, with to put on all that. But they got bullshit. So I take some Preem clothes. I said, yo, give me this, man. I want to put this on. It was a used damage suit. And then I had some felines or some shit. And this nigga Martin switched my sneakers. Playing games with me, you know what I mean? In the back. Because we was playing stupid with each other. So when I come out, after he introduced me, and I'm walking like a player,
Yeah.
I'm walking funny because my feet is balled up like boxing gloves. You know what I mean? Because shoes was like a 5, and I wore like an 8.5.
Right.
So I went out there with them shits on, and I told the joke that Russell wanted me to tell all the time, that Superman joke. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't had no other jokes. I ain't had nothing. I had that street lingo, but if I'm sober, you ain't gonna see it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You know? So the whole thing is, like a lot of rappers, they can't rap or get creative unless they smoke weed. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They can't do it.
I believe that. I believe that.
Then there's a lot of niggas that can't do a lot of shit. Like a lot of comedians can't get on stage unless they got some liquor. There gotta be a cup sitting on that stool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They can't do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's something that gotta clear them nerves and help your creative process. Your memory bank kick in. You know, you see somebody funny and you got jokes for them. You know, you got a metaphor for this, for that. But if your juice ain't in you, if the gas ain't in the car, it ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I blew up everywhere but that stage. I done two pepper lines, everything down, fire, set of the flame. Then standing ovation everywhere. Till I got there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then the way this nigga bigged me up, Russell Simmons' personal favorite, I was like, oh God, this motherfucker. You talk about the pressure. And then right in front row, Preem sitting up there shaking a fucking fake chain like, yeah, let's go. too much of bullshit. It's a movie. You know what I mean?
All right. So how many appearances did you actually get off during the series?
I just did that. The streets had me hard. Like, the streets had me. And then from there, I went to How Can I Be Down with Boostin Kev down in Miami.
Yeah, I remember that.
We was on Collins, and we was in the store, and my man Frizz, he was down there. I seen him. I was like, Frizz, what's up? What you doing down here? He's like, nigga, it's a hip-hop motherfucker. This extravaganza. You think I ain't gonna be here?
Right.
And Frizz showed me how to get some rubber bands and put them at the bottom of your pants, and then go in the liquor store and put all type of motherfucking liquor inside your pants and let it slide down your leg. So we got mad champagne, all type of shit. And then we cowboy walking out the door. yo, I've been some real crazy niggas, man.
Let me ask you this, my nigga. We going over the fashion now. All right, what I get from you is you are a run of the mill, real deal, New York City nigga. You got the you got the gab game, you got the charisma, you got the hustle. You can play OT. You can rock a variety of roles. When you mentioned Jostler, I already knew what it was. And my father was one. I revealed that to you. I got it.
Yeah, you revealed that. Yeah.
My father was one. So all right. At which point did you incur this taste for these vintage fashion brands? Was it during the course of you running with Boostin Kev?
Yeah, but before Kev, a cat that taught me a lot was a dude named Terrell from Fulton and Kingston. His grandmother owned Blimpies. She owned a church. And I'm talking, he used to go to Boys and Girls High. So this early 80s, like 81, 82, he had all the quarterfills, all the British Walkers, all the Wallabies, all the Clarks, all the Fila suits, all the head coats, all the suede fronts, he had everything, all the sheepskins, all the bombers, he had everything. Then it went up to mink coats and Fila suits and Christian Dior sweatsuits, and he had all the motherfucking Guests, he had all the polo, he had all the Gazelles, he had all the Cartiers, he had all the polo frames, he had all the specs, he had everything. The boy was sport, you know what I mean?
Right.
Sport. He had a Cadillac, gooseneck, diamond in the back, a big mag wheels, all that shit. He's 16, 17 years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, all that shit. Like, he was a fly nigga. The gold teeth, the big jewelry, all that. And one of the first niggas going down to D.C. You know what I mean?
Okay.
He got murdered down there, too.
Damn.
But him, everybody knew him. Demencio, all of them knew him. Everybody knew him. He was a fly nigga. He was the first dude that I kind of liked his style because he looked just like me. You know what I mean? So I just went around saying that was my brother.
Okay.
Yeah, and he had two cats with him, a cat named Todd and a cat named Flip. And he just had to be the flyest threesome you ever seen. These niggas, Flip had a different style. Flip had a different world style. Like,
college.
He had that Gumby hairdo, and he had the Chuck Taylors, and he had the Benetton. Like, that was his shit. But the nigga game was superb.
Okay.
That nigga, woo, Flip, skinny nigga with G. This nigga game, it's like he had an old man in him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's a young nigga, skinny, weighed about 100 pounds, but his mouth, woo, game, tight, strong. He had bitches running in stores, taking me coats, all type of shit. He's a beast. You know what I mean?
I don't get a chance to, to show my shit, but me and you, we a lot more alike than I originally anticipated and shit. Just by us gabbing right now. That's one of my most lethal weapons, my mouthpiece. I speak about it often. I talk about my aptitude of my mouthpiece. I run circles around niggas. And
you gotta tell me, I already knew that though. That's why I click with you.
I was able to
feel like.
No doubt. I was consistently embraced by guys like you, man. So yeah, we're on the same page. The fashion, so you encountered these three guys and they were just electrifying with the fresh game and the gab.
And then it was a dude named Ben, Black Ben, African Ben from Albany Projects, Malik.
Okay.
Malik, he had the Patrick sneakers, the missiles.
Mm-hmm.
He had all the ballys that from the sneakers to the track sneakers to the all suede toe to the the competitions, to the guests with the leather in the back, to all of that shit. And that's when I see Putty a lot on Union. That's when Pappy was running around. That's when I know Pappy, like Glaze said, I know Pappy when he had a Caesar. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I know Pappy way back.
So you knew him before he went over to the Bebos and with the patois and, you know, took the whole Jamaican.
Yeah. See, the illest Jamaican niggas that we knew was on Lincoln and Troy. You know what I mean? And the next block is St. John's. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And go over 2 more blocks, St. John's and Utica. That's where, you know, Dave Lowe and all them, Boostin Billy. You know, them are some of the illest low-lives in the world. Like, God bless the dead, Boostin Billy. Right. But right there, Lincoln and Troy, the illest Jamaicans that we knew at the time was King Allah, Born and Devon, and all them niggas down the hill called the Shower Posse. So hold
on, G. Some of these Rastafarian guys, they were taking on 5% attributes.
Oh, what? You heard what I said?
This is new. This is some new shit right here. This is new and this is interesting.
You get into this thing and you gonna have a whole bunch of hits, boy. Yeah, it's deep. Like, what?
So this is new, man. The Jamaican posses were taking on. Was they fucking with the math too, or they just liked the?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a lot of culture, man.
Them niggas, yo, you gotta understand this. I'm gonna drop a jewel right now, and I don't give a fuck about how nobody feel about the truth. You know what I mean? For real. Put your bulletproof vest on if this shit gonna hurt you. Hip hop came from Jamaica. You know what I mean? From the dance to the fashion to the screw face to the attitude to the vibe to niggas in New York is living in abandoned buildings, shit like that. Jamaicans said, we ain't got no motherfucking radio station in Jamaica. Where do we party at? In the park. The Jamaicans moved to New York. We ain't got nowhere, no stadium or nothing to play no music at. Where we gonna play? In the park. They did the same shit they did in Jamaica. They did it here. Know what I mean? Them was the most dangerous niggas in Brooklyn. Jamaicans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They was off the meat rack in the 80s and the 70s. And if you nigga want to go back, from 73 or 4 on up, Bob Marley ran this motherfucker.
Brooklyn? Brooklyn?
Bob Marley, yeah.
Okay.
Bob Marley ran that motherfucker.
He ran
it with love. It was nothing but love shit. Good vibes and all that shit. You know, that's when they had gates. That's when they had Sesame or regular.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And they had it at the gate. The gates was a regular store that got nail ladies and shit like that in it and a whole bunch of shit that it don't got in it. But it's a store with a bulletproof glass. The only store like that around, it smell like incense and shit. And there's a Jamaican nigga with dreads that he could drag for a block. He done stuffed him in a little ass hat sitting on the top of his head. and this nigga selling weed. You know, all of them had them lion fucking rings on their hand. You know what I mean?
Right.
All of them was chewing motherfucking sugar cane. You know?
Right.
And all them niggas had that pivot foot like a ballerina stance. You know, and lean back with it. You know?
Right.
And Jamaicans had it locked down. It was the first niggas you seen with automatic weapons and shit like that.
So when
you know what I mean?
So when Raekwon was saying running up in gates and doing hits for high stakes, he was talking about trying to rob Jamaicans.
Yeah, running up in the gates in Jamaican spots. Yeah.
Well, I be damned. See, I be needing somebody from that next generation to provide some footnotes. I always suspected that Ray was talking about robbing something, but I didn't know what it was. I got it.
Yeah, the gates, that's it. You gotta remember them niggas from the islands too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta remember, everybody that came up in hip hop is from some fucking island. All the way to the great LL Cool J, everybody from the island somewhere, man. And I noticed everybody from the islands had a private house in the 70s and 80s, you know?
Yeah. When you say a private house, what you mean by that?
They got 2 floors, 1 family or 2 family house. They got a basement, they got a backyard, they got a front yard, they got a parking lot, they got, some of them in Queens had the garages, but a lot of people got them big brownstones in Brooklyn, and a lot of them was from the islands.
Okay.
You know, a lot of them, like all over Canarsie, all over Flatbush. It was mad people that had, you know, they got working families. You know, a lot of people from another country come over here and they get everything they need immediately, way before us.
No doubt.
So